You're listening to Flying Casual, a Star Wars podcast. Here's your host, Michael Canterbury.
Well, I'll be damned.
Whoa.
If Christmas didn't come early this year.
Well, it's here now.
Wow. It's a magical night. Do you feel it in the air?
I feel the magic.
Is that a Disney joke or are you? I don't know. To me, it feels, I don't know. There's a presence in the house, whether it's Obi-Wan, or Yoda. I don't know. But The Mandalorian came out today. I know some of you got to watch it at midnight. I think Scotty Hawk was watching it at like 3 a.m. our time. So I think the kid was up all night. A lot of people got to see it early. Some people watched it a little in the morning, finished it in the afternoon. I said, I'm waiting until 7 p.m.
That's right.
I'm going to watch it. I didn't know it was only 39 minutes, so I had a little time to spare.
So you didn't watch it at work? You didn't close your door?
I didn't.
Tell people not to bother you?
No, I actually just downloaded the app and listened to Captain Marvel, which is a phenomenal movie. I love it. But yeah, so came home, got the app ready. To my surprise, it was only 39 minutes. Holly, were you surprised it was only 39 minutes?
It went by really fast.
It went
I think when
fast.
it ended, I was like, that's it? That's
it?
Well, I thought a lot of things when it ended, but we'll get there.
That's okay.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Folks, welcome to a live episode of Flying Casual. I mean, we got our stuff together. Am I wrong?
On time.
I mean, 9 p.m. on the dot Eastern Standard. So I don't know if we can make the joke anymore that we're in Central Standard Time.
We can't.
What I'm actually concerned about is that folks are confused and they're like, wait, was Mike serious about Central Standard Time? And they're going to pop in at 10 p.m.
And we're going to be gone.
And I'll be in bed.
Sorry.
Actually, I won't be because, hey, here's a nice free sponsorship for McDonald's. Had to get a cheap pick-me-up because this morning there was snow. Didn't have any time to get coffee. Ran, got a pick-me-up.
Mm-hmm.
Large McCafe to get me pumped.
Yep.
With some Bibi Bop, right?
Flying Casual Cafe.
With a full
McCafe.
stomach, with a pick-me-up, and a fantastic
That's right.
episode of The Mandalorian.
Really great.
Really great, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. The app is fantastic. I didn't experience any issues this evening. Maybe a little bit this morning. It was a little buggy, but I feel like everyone was kind of trying to download stuff and get the first look, especially at The Mandalorian. I mean, early results are in from some of our your friends in the Facebook group.
They love it.
Loving it.
They love it.
I even saw Wade hit up Scotty. Said no spoilers.
Scotty.
Stop. No, I love Scotty. He's just pumped, as am I. Because I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I would have been able to hold anything in if I would have watched it this morning.
Well, but you know what?
Phrasing, yeah.
We're here now.
We're
So
here now.
We're gonna spoil the crap out of this episode.
We're gonna spoil the crap out of that. Let's. If you're new to Flying Casual and you didn't look at the description of the feed, and I'm really sorry, but this is a Mandalorian spoilers episode. You got to go watch.
Spoilers only.
Well, not always, but I usually get too excited that I can't help myself. Phrasing as well. So let's just get into the thing. We automatically we start the show, 39 minutes worth, and there's a really fantastic Star Wars intro. Am I wrong? I got super excited, and you're like, calm down. It's just like the intro. Like
Michael's like yelling, "Oh my god!"
Oh my gosh! But it's got everyone's masks. It
does.
Stormtroopers. It's got Vader. It's got God. I don't even remember Mandalorian helmets. It just has everything and all these different hues of color. And I was just like, what is happening? And it was just this. It's probably gonna be in every single Star Wars product you watch, right? I don't know. That got me really excited. And you see the Lucasfilm pop up. It just automatically felt like Star Wars.
It felt so much like Star Wars.
Right.
What else did you like about it?
Well, let's I want to get your first impression. If someone comes up to you and says, "Holly, you saw The Mandalorian," generally, what did you think?
I want to watch it again.
I want to watch it again.
It was really good. It was action-packed.
Yeah.
It was really intense.
Yeah.
Actually, I found myself kind of surprised because this is only rated PG.
No, I think it's PG-14. not PG.
We'll fact check that.
No, it is. Oh,
Okay.
fact check the
Okay.
hell out of it. It's PG-14.
Well, okay, so PG-14.
Mhm.
Well, then I'm not surprised. So forget everything that I was
That's
just going
okay.
to say.
That's okay.
It just felt a little bit violent for a. Because here's
Day one of Disney Plus, like yeah,
well, right,
no, I feel you.
and also, I don't know. I feel like it's Disney. You wouldn't need parent controls, but if you have a kid who's like gonna get on there and watch it,
Yeah.
it's definitely a little bit more mature.
No, it absolutely.
But I
is.
liked it.
Yeah.
You said you were like, "This is really dark." Yeah,
If in the beginning it felt
yeah,
dark. It
it
felt
did.
dark.
let's talk about that Corin.
Yeah. I mean, he deserves it. Let's be honest. But so yeah, that first scene in the cantina. I mean, automatically you're feeling Star Wars, right? They got the cantina.
Yep.
You're seeing familiar faces in there. Some Transdoshans. You're seeing. I can't remember what the bounties species is. I'm not familiar with him. But he's very human. Like,
Mithril.
is that what he was?
I don't know.
I
I
have
think
no
I just
idea.
made that up.
We'll fact check it. Whoever's
Somebody-
in the
somebody
stream,
tell-
check it.
Somebody tell me.
But it just felt like Star Wars automatically right from the gate. I mean, and it opened with a fight, right?
Yeah.
That was to the point. To the point. This
Yeah.
guy's a badass. This guy is gonna wreck some stuff. He's not to be messed with. Little did we know we'd see a little softer side. That was shocking, but we'll get to that. So it just felt like Star Wars right off the bat. And I don't think I disclosed this from the top. Luke is not with us.
Well, he didn't die.
He's still present on this earth. But 9 p.m. is a little early for him. He's a night owl.
He is.
Let me say
Yeah.
that. But with a couple kids, hard to get to a live stream at
Yeah.
9 p.m. punctual. It's like maybe I can call in. I wouldn't even know how to do that live. It would probably just be really embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
But
he knew it was Eastern time.
he knew it was Eastern time. He just couldn't make
9
it.
p.m. Central is probably better for him.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. For those going west, it's definitely more his time. But back to the cantina. I mean, yeah, you see, he's not to be messed with.
No.
And he gets a bounty right out of the gate, takes it back, cashes it in. Which there was some humor with that scene too. And that's what I was just like, is this going to be a very serious show the whole time? But then
If it was serious the whole time, it wouldn't feel like Star Wars, though.
agreed. But I mean, you're right. They did it well with Rogue One.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I hear a lot of people saying, it felt like very much like Rogue One, and I agree to that, to a certain extent. It definitely, I don't know. It felt like it moved quicker than Rogue One, but I mean, it's a television show. That's what's going to happen. But immediately, like he's taking this bounty away up in his ship, and then I found it was kind of a comedic moment when the water monster. Did you ever get a night?
I don't know. I don't really know what that was.
It looked like a walrus with a shark kind of body. Everything's looking good.
No, I can't see it.
You can't see it. Scroll down. Should be working well.
I've
got a good stream. I
don't think
I'm live.
Okay.
No, you
I don't think I'm in the right place because I can't see if anybody's in here. I can't see a chat, and I don't see the live stream.
Well,
It wants me to hit play.
Well, yeah, you go ahead and hit play.
Will that start anything?
Yeah, it
Okay.
should catch you up. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm new to the internet. This is my first time
okay.
on a computer.
Well, not really, but nice try. So there was that comedic moment, right? I mean, it was pretty funny where, I don't know. I thought it was funny. So I was just like, okay, we're going to have some humor because that opening was really, really
Intense.
powerful and intense.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then, we see him go to his guild. Or does he go to the guild first, or does he go to his Mandalorian hideout?
No, he goes to the guild first
goes to the
because
guild
he has
first.
to cash everything in before he goes to the Mandalorian.
That's right.
hideout.
He gets the bounty from Carl Weathers, which I can't remember his character's name still.
Yeah.
But he apparently is running this guild. Gets the bounty. It's secretive. It's undisclosed.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to get the actual information from what we now know is the Imperial Remnant. We'll call it the Imperial Remnant.
Yeah.
And they desperately want this thing. I mean, there's seems like there's really high stakes here.
But before you get to that,
Yeah.
I thought the thing that was interesting is that he made a comment about how it doesn't seem like there's very much work. He doesn't feel like that they really have that many bounties.
That the bounties are just people who are
they're just like
running
normal
their
everyday
bail.
people, right? Like, okay, whatever. Like, why am I getting these crap bounties? Give me something better.
Well, and they're just bail busters or whatever I can't remember what they call them. People who are, out on bail and probably, or parole or whatever you want to call it, and then bring them back in. You know what I'm saying? And that could be, who knows, tough times in the galaxy. I mean, the Empire's gone. Maybe the Empire, cracked down on crime or whatever. They had their own program of busting down on things. But, I don't know. You also pass right over the coolest part, which was he freezes everybody in carbonite on his ship. He does. I was actually kind of surprised that he had that sort of
technology.
Yeah, just on a ship.
On a ship
like that. I was kind of surprised.
Who pays for that?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like he has very much.
The guild probably supplies it, and it makes sense though if you've got a kind of a volatile, bounty, a person you're collecting on. You probably want that sort of capability.
Our police don't do that.
Well, especially if you're going to be rounding up multiple bounties at a time. What are you going to do? Keep them on your ship?
They stack in so nicely.
Yeah. No, I thought that was actually
fantastic.
What
it was like? It was like when you go to Home Goods and you're looking through the rug samples. How they're just like on his wall.
Interesting comparison. I mean, yeah, no, I'm down. But yeah, I mean, can we test actually? Is anyone in the stream right now? Are we getting some? The stream looks good. I mean, it's going solid for 37 minutes, so I'll try to check that intermittently.
Maybe we have no sound because no one said anything.
I don't think that's true, but maybe. I mean, it's definitely possible. No, I think we're good. So yeah, that's an interesting comparison with the rugs and
it just felt like they were all on display.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And I didn't even catch if you could tell who, besides the main bounty that we saw, what he had captured before then. I don't know.
It was hard to tell. There were some with creepy features.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really an expert on other
bounties.
Yes.
Criminals. The underworld.
Michael is here.
Okay. Yeah. Michael, give us a heads up if you see, any issues, sounds good, give us a thumbs up. That works. So appreciate Michael stopping by. Good friend. So back to the Mandalorian. So he collects this bounty. He gets a little piece of Beskar steel. Beskar.
What is that?
So it's a cherished Mandalorian steel that is very rare. Apparently nowadays, and I'm assuming the Empire. This is when I need Jory and Scotty and these deep lore guys to come in and talk to me about the Beskar. But it looks like the Empire probably has a stockpile of this stuff, and now they're finding some use for it, and they know that this expensive bounty hunter is going to absolutely take this for whatever they're asking, and he does. And so he takes that back to his guild, which was a huge or not his guild, but his Mandalorian. It's a hideout.
Yeah.
I don't know why, if they weren't hiding out, why they would be in such a place. It looked like a hideout. Meets I think we saw a Boba Fett character.
Everyone's saying that it was Boba Fett. I need to rewatch it and then pause it. Somebody, I don't know. And it was even Vanity Fair or something like that. Gave the exact minute they took a screenshot.
Yeah.
But looking at the screenshot, it truly is Boba Fett's helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And it has the dent where he got hit in the helmet.
Yeah.
So
your cable. Yeah, you can hear it rattling a little bit.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So here's one thing. So in Aftermath, God, it's been a long time since I've read Aftermath now, but someone gets Boba's armor. They either see someone with Boba's armor, and I don't know if they actually specify that it's Boba's armor, but you are led to believe that that's his armor. Maybe not so much himself.
So we don't know it's actually Boba.
Exactly.
Somebody could have crawled down into that Sarlacc pit and pulled out.
It could have regurgitated the armor. And it didn't want it, because if it's it's tough steel. it's probably not going to, be dissolved with Boba over 1,000 years. But I mean, maybe. But I'm pretty sure I'll have to revisit the aftermath discussion there with Boba Fett's armor. But it could be him, or it could just be someone that has his armor, which is, I'm thinking it's probably more the latter. So I thought that was fascinating. I didn't think we'd see anything like that. I mean, there's definitely been some purge of the Mandalorians.
They talked about it.
They talk about it. He has a flashback. You recall the flashback. I don't even remember where it happened within the show, but he has a flashback.
It happened when she was creating the shoulder pad out of that steel.
That's right. So he meets up with the blacksmith at the Mandalorian hideout. She makes a shoulder pad, we'll call. I don't know what else to call it. A shoulder steel pad.
Like
I don't know.
Mandalorian skateboarder.
He'd be a hell of a skateboarder. I mean, he could fall, do whatever. But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And full disclosure, as always, I'm a mouth reader. So I had to crank this show up to 10 just to understand what was going on. So if you ever meet me in person, you're going to see me looking at your mouth, and it's not something in your teeth. I just have to read lips because I'm partially hard of hearing. And so when everyone's in a helmet, or everyone is in, some sort of disguise, or there are some alien species and they're in like a mat, I couldn't read it. There was no lips to be read other than Carl Weathers, 3 minutes.
Can you imagine,
Yeah.
When he picked up that first bounty and he was trying to make small talk, and he said, I heard that you never take your helmets off. Is that true? Michael would be the one to be like, excuse me, can you take off your helmet
just
so
I
can actually understand
what you're saying.
you?
And that's a huge, that's a huge discussion in The Mandalorian, is that people are wondering, is he ever going to do it? And I found myself in moments being like, there's no way that's Pedro Pascal's voice. But then sometimes it really sounded like him. And I know there's a voice changer, somewhat thing that's at play there. But I don't know. I doubt he ever will. It definitely not, at the beginning of this season. They're going to lead up. And I'm sure it'll be some emotional moment where he's either reunited with his people or something like that. But we see a flashback.
So, who are his people?
I don't know. I mean, it's either... Is he, a true Mandalorian or not? We don't.
I don't think he is.
We don't know really anything. Yeah, I mean, so there's some struggle there, and we're gonna get into that conversation because we mentioned how tough he was in the beginning, but he really does have this soft side, and you really see that when he has this flashback of what we think is his family. Now, who knows? It could be his son being ripped from him. I don't know. But it looks like, it's him being stowed away. And that's going to play in towards the end of the episode.
I think it was definitely him. I think it was his parents who put him in the vault to hide him, which, I don't know. It's always Star Wars children being hidden in vaults. It happened to Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
We just saw in Rebels something weird with Ezra and the vault in his old place.
Oh yeah, they have a secret I'm reading it in Resistance Reborn. Spoiler alert. It's been spoiled for everyone now. Wedge is back, and him and Nora live on this planet. I can't remember, Akiva or something, and they have a little farm that has, an escape tunnel that they made. So there's hideouts everywhere because you never know.
All over the galaxy.
You never know when the First Order is going to show up. You never know when stormtroopers are going to show up and just ask for your papers, some identification. You just don't know. You got to be prepared.
Okay, so who purged the Mandalorians?
I mean, there was a lot of infighting amongst themselves. But that depends. I mean, there's a lot of legends, stories, and here. Full disclosure again, not just my my lip reading, but I am not the biggest Mandalorian fan. I mean, I've talked about it in Rebel Watch. I gravitate more towards Jedi and the Sith and their differences and their strengths and and their mythology and philosophy. I gravitate towards that more than Mandalorians. But Mandalorian fanfare is huge.
It is. We saw it at Celebration.
Oh, the Mandalorian mercs are huge, and they're awesome, and they're such good people. It's just that's not necessarily what brings me to Star Wars, but I'm still extremely excited about this show. So the Legends story is a bit different from the little bit of canon that we know about them. Because I mean, the Mandalorians were, they battled, the Sith Empire. If I'm recalling Legends correctly, like they were a huge player, and renowned, war. What do you want to call them? Not mongers, but like they're known for their brutality. They're great soldiers, and that's carried over into canon a little bit, but. What happened to Mandalore is a bit, I don't know, maybe we'll touch on it in Rebels again, because they go there, Sabine's a Mandalorian, there's the Darksaber. Will we see any of that here? I don't know.
You look speculated.
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. So it'll be interesting to see, and I'm sure we're going to get a little more each episode of his flashbacks, which is great to tell the whole story. I love that. If it's 39 minutes, you can't dedicate a whole episode to it. No. I love that they're fitting it in there. He's having moments, and you're like, wow, this guy, you immediately thought, like, is he an actual Mandalorian?
I don't think that he is, because, can I tell you why?
Okay.
So later, well, immediately after that scene, actually, he goes to a different planet. I don't know where.
Okay.
And he meets somebody else, and he gets attacked by the Blurgs.
The Blurgs, yes.
The Blurgs, which we can come back to, because
you thought
they were
he should
fantastic.
have owned the Blurgs.
Well, no, I don't think that he should have owned the Blurgs. But the whole thing that the guy that he meets says is, he's like, you're a Mandalorian, like, your people rode on creatures. Like, this should be second nature to you. And it wasn't. And the fact that it wasn't, which I already thought based on the flashbacks, I don't think that he's actually from Mandalore, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Who knows? It was the first episode.
No, you're right, though. You're right. That scene tells a lot.
He gets so, like, because he's like, just give me, like, a pod, or give me, like, a speed racer. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? You're a Mandalorian. And then he turns around. He's like, okay. Yeah. Can't, like, let this guy think that I'm, like, not able to do this.
Well, you're right. So, and Jory's here now, so he can help me out with some of this Legends talk and some of these sweaty details of the Mandos, because he knows I'm not a huge Mando enthusiast. But
is Jory in the chat?
Jory's in. He's in. He's late to the party. He was going off of that, that Central Time. He's the one that made the
Sorry,
joke
guys.
too.
I think I'm having a technical difficulty because my live stream on my computer is not working at all.
If you scroll down to the public view area, are you in that area?
Mm-hmm.
You see the live chat?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try refreshing it. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, technical issues, people are understanding.
We're live.
I cut as many cables as I could. The only thing that should be running is these two computers. But you're right. In that moment, he does, he's like, why don't you just ride this blurg? And you, like you said, well, why don't you just give me a speeder or something? So
yeah,
the Mandalorians, I mean, their technology is insane, and you'll see that in Rebels. I mean, the weaponry that Sabine, even created for the Empire, she was, she got a lot of that from being a Mandalorian, and then they wanted that technology and that mind that she had. And they're huge on technology. I mean, they have jetpacks, they have gauntlets, they have these flamethrowers, and God knows what else they have in there. But they have so much technology, so I can see that that's what he knows.
Yeah.
That's and this guy is referencing maybe because to think that in this short a period of time from the fall of the Empire to now that he would be referencing Mandalorians from the days of old. I can't imagine it's what this Mandalorian really knows. I'm sure if he is indeed a Mandalorian, he knows their history, but he knows technology. He doesn't necessarily relate to writing. What are they?
The Blurgs.
Blurgs. So he may just be like, you don't know your ancestry. They rode these things. So it could just be a generational difference is pretty much what I'm saying. But Chewie's getting comfortable there on the couch. That's good. So I don't know, but I can see what you're saying, though. Maybe it's either, just a generational difference and he doesn't really relate to that, or he doesn't know the history. That could have been telling that, he's like, blurgs, why would I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean? And it was something different that he said that the Mandalorians rode. It was some different creature. It wasn't a blurg.
No, it wasn't a blurg, but it was something like that.
What was
they
it?
rode
I don't
as,
remember.
as like cavalrymen or something. But you know what I think?
What?
I think that he's not an outcast of the Mandalorians, but he didn't grow up with those customs.
But that's because he didn't grow up with his parents.
He didn't grow up with his family. Yeah, something. I don't know.
I need to know more.
Maybe he didn't have a teacher. He's learning how to become a Mandalorian. Yeah. He has the armor. He's slowly acquiring it.
That's kind of cool too, to kind of see him like build the pieces. I know I kind of like
so
went over
I like
that
the
real
kind
fast,
of blue
but,
shoulder pad, but
that's
cool.
The shoulder pad. Yeah. Well, but then something else is that they had to have chosen that moment very specifically for him to have those flashbacks when she was like molding the metal to like give him another piece of his armor, and every time she would strike it, he would have a flashback. So what was it about that made him have those flashbacks? Was it specific to like?
It could just be the steel is kind of speaking to him. It may not literally, but it's just that moment where you don't get those moments often.
Yeah.
But it reminds him of home and what was important to them. But we got to break that scene down a little more, because I can't even remember like what his parents. None of them were in Mandalorian armor.
They weren't. They were in just like what I would describe as like normal Star Wars civilian.
Well, and that's the thing. So I need more of a history on Mandalorians, but not all of them are running around in full armor all the time. We see Mandalorians who are battle ready and leaders, but not everyone can be to have that honor. I'm sure not everyone is that honorable. There's different houses and things like that. So his family may come from the lower class of Mandalorians, or not the really the battle focused houses. That may just be him.
Yeah.
And that's he was wanting to become this, or he was expected to become this, but he just didn't have the history or the leadership to follow that. And so I honestly think this is going to be a lot of his story of becoming the Mandalorian. Like right now, he looks like a Mandalorian. He fights like a Mandalorian. But does he actually feel like a Mandalorian?
He does not.
I don't know.
I
don't know. So let's take a quick. You see the stream? You see the things now?
Sorry if I seemed a little distracted. It's because I had to restart my computer.
Restarting the computer. That's okay.
And get everything back up. But I think I'm back in.
Seeing comments now.
I see Michael's and Jory's comments again.
Cool.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah.
So Jory pops in there and says, so are we calling the thing at the end of Baby Yoda, since we don't know what Yoda species? Yeah. It's
actually really funny, because as soon as it came on screen, I was like, oh my God, it's a Baby Yoda. And Michael was like, what?
Wait, so it's funny because they did kind of the same kind of camera shot from The Last Jedi when they show Yoda for the first time. They come from behind.
And you just see his one little ear.
See his ears, and I'm like, oh my God, is somehow Yoda is back. He's been reborn, or it's like
oh my God, reincarnated.
We'll speculate on that here towards the end. We're gonna get back to that, Jory. But
I don't know who Heat Override number 5 is.
I think is it Rob? I can't remember. I
don't know. Everyone gave us their handles, and now Wade made a great point. Was like, send in your handle so we know who's who. I'm really bad at this guessing game, but I agree. It's cute, and I want one.
Yes, me too.
It has to be Rob, right?
I think so. I'm trying to get a good look at his profile pic there. I think it is, but I can't remember.
Because he said that in the group.
Okay. Let us know if it's you, Rob, or if it's not. I apologize, but I'm trying to look and see who that
Michael
is.
screamed. I think that I did too.
Yes, there was a moment. I want to get to the end, in a little bit, but really, the flashback was a really pivotal moment.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back. I got ahead of myself.
But here another aspect, when he was riding the blurgs and in the pen.
Oh my God. Okay, he had a moment with the blurg.
He did have a moment with a blurg. It felt like an Ezra Bridger moment.
It did with the Lost Cats, right?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, is that what you thought?
Yeah,
because
connecting to and I don't think that the Mandalorians really have that sort of connection, but that could be like a older generational thing.
Is it though? Because if you dig a little deeper, what you said, maybe it's you said it could be a generational thing. I get it, but it could also be like.
Come on.
When you think of the Mandalorian, you don't think of peaceful, you don't think of nurturing, you don't think of patient or kind. But during this episode, that was, I mean,
that was a moment.
He didn't take the bounty that he came for in the first place. He didn't take him by force. 2.
True. Well, he did say though, I can take you.
Well, he did, but
warm or cold.
He did, but it wasn't. It didn't feel very
that he actually
threatening.
Would.
Yeah. I mean, it was threatening, but you know what I'm saying. But then we see him have this moment with the blurg, and he's trying to calm it like you would calm down a horse.
Yeah.
Which does not seem to necessarily be what you would think that a Mandalorian would do. It would be more like, I'm going to conquer this animal and
give me something to lasso him up and
right.
I don't know, but I don't know. It was interesting that he meets this kind of wise. Oh God, scout. I don't even know what you call him. But the guy that's going to lead him to the bounty or whatever. That was an interesting discussion there because even when something happens, I don't know. He offers him the bounty. He's like, you deserve this, or there's a huge respect there that he's having for each character that he runs into. Even IG-11 here in a little bit, we'll talk about it. I mean, a respect there. He's a freaking droid. He pulls him up at one point, which I'm like, I don't think IG-11 needs help getting up, but I will just stop there. But so what else that moment did is it was a nice comedic moment because that's when everything felt so serious, but then he's like trying to ride this thing and it's, bucking him off. I thought that was funny. It was nice. It was getting humor back into Star Wars.
I also kind of like how his character, I don't think that his character is like meant to, the things that his character says are meant to be serious, not funny, but it's the fact that he's just like very straightforward and to the point that makes it seem funny. Like when he got off that blurg and then he was like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that droid, 50 times a day.
Yeah, it's a droid humor because he's in a mask. So yeah, let's go. The Jory's throwing some compliments out there for Holly, getting deep and sweaty into the conversation. I'm loving it. And so I don't know. That was a great moment. But the guy says, you know what? Everyone I've led out here they die. And he says what to him? He's like, well, maybe I don't need your help then, or something like that, or maybe.
That was so funny. That was actually one of the funniest parts because he was like, well, I've helped everybody that come through here, and then he was like, the Mandalorian was like, and what happened to them? And he's like, well, they all died. He's like, well, then I don't want your help.
Yeah, maybe I don't want your help. Yeah,
you failed everybody.
Yeah, it was funny. And I want to know if anyone else is a mouth reader out there, and you're like, this first episode was very difficult, and I had it cranked.
I said turn on the subtitles, and you said
the subtitles, but then I'm distracted and I'm losing the visual.
That's true,
because it could be a bit distracting.
It
but
can.
So he goes out and he finds the outpost or whatever it is that this bounty's in. And I'll tell you, the whole time my mind's running, I'm like, okay, is it Thrawn? Is it like a little, I don't know, like glob that's the Emperor, like it's his
I'm not gonna lie,
spirit is in a urn or something. Yeah.
This might sound like,
come on,
I don't know. I can't even say it. It will sound so stupid.
Well,
just like
you say whatever you need to say.
Just like for one brief moment when they were like, well, it's gonna contain like a universe spoiler, and then you and Luke were talking about like Boba Fett coming back, and I was like, well, obviously there's no bounty out on Boba Fett because he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
But so since it couldn't have been that, I was like, I don't know, just like in some weird way, like what if the first bounty had been for like Obi-Wan, but like, or like something weird like that. But I don't think that those timelines.
Well, so you got to remember this is post Empire, so I mean episode 4, 5, 6 gone.
Yeah.
We're in a period where the Empire has just fallen, and the First Order is starting to get its grip on the galaxy.
But how far before the First Order are we? We're like years and years before the First Order.
I mean, I would assume we are. We're 10 years, 8 to 10 years after the Battle of Yavin.
I think it was 5 years.
Or 5 years. Okay, well, so it's.
I don't know though.
There's still a lot of a huge Imperial presence there, but no, that's. To be honest, I was thinking it could be anything. I didn't think necessarily that the bounty itself was the spoiler.
But that's what I said when the episode started.
What's that?
That the bounty is gonna be like, because it was so secret and they wouldn't tell you who it was.
Well, you nailed it. Like you've been calling. We're gonna get into more of that because you called so many things about this show.
Did I write this?
It's sometimes frustrating watching things with you because you like to talk a lot during things.
Yeah, I'm the worst to watch things
especially when you are right about everything. It's like, thanks, Holly. I wasn't seeing that yet, but in 10 minutes I would have been caught up with you. But no, you're a lot of fun to watch things with. So, because then you can translate for me. I'm like, I was like shoving my mouth with Baby Bob. I'm like, what did he say? And you're like, he said this. And I'm like, cool. All
Sorry,
right.
You couldn't hear him over the sound of me talking.
And my chewing. So it was, and I can't read, lips because everyone's in a mask.
Or a helmet.
Or a helmet. So that's my bad. So I didn't necessarily think it was the bounty. I was thinking that, like, what in this universe is such a, like, did he not type of situation? And to me, it was like Boba Fett. Is there a relation there? Or is there something we'll learn about Boba? Because in Legends, he survives. In canon, we've kind of remained silent on it, other than the Aftermath series, which it doesn't even reference him. It references, a Mandalorian armor, a coveted armor, something like that. So we get to this compound, right? It's heavily armored. There's a lot of guys around. I don't know if they were all Transdoshans. They look like the Kree. I think it's the Kree. Michael Moore, correct me if I'm wrong. But they look like the Kree from Captain Marvel. Some of them did. I know he knows. So
you just listened to it today.
I just listened to it, but I got Ben Mendelsohn on the mind too. He's talking. I can't even impersonate him. He's amazing. I love him. I love him in Rogue One. I loved him in Captain Marvel. I love him in everything he does. He's just a great actor, great voice too. Maybe he's in this somewhere. I don't know. But maybe he was one of the Kree. I have no idea. Anyway, so we get to this compound. He's scoping it out. Heavily armored, all this and that. And all of a sudden you hear, by order of galactic whatever, issue 6, whatever he says, and you see IG-11 roll out. IG-11 was one of my favorite parts of this show.
I love the sassy droids.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Like the K2s.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody listened to the latest episode that we put out, but I did one of the hyperspace inquiries, and I said, if you could have a droid as a roommate, who would it be? Michael and Luke went, like, your classic BB-8 R2, but
Hey, you're in hyperspace. It was the first thing that came to mind.
Okay. Well, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I personally would have picked K2, though, because I like that witty banter. I like that back and forth. Michael Moore knows what I'm talking about.
For some reason, when you mention that, I'm thinking like my old college dorm at Kenyon College and how small it was. And I was just like, I probably want BB. I don't know why my mind went there. But I was just like, BB-8 would be cool there. But I would love a K2, just, wherever I needed him. He could do whatever I need him to do. And he would bring that humor there. BB-8, though, let's be honest, full disclosure, feels like he has a little, a comedic bone.
He does. Okay.
A funny bone. I think the scientific term is comedic.
Do you have that?
No,
that's
not that one.
That's the wrong one.
That's the one. That's the one. But thank you. Yes, in-house studio. Thank you. Yeah.
Michael has a correction for you. He said you meant the Skrulls.
The Skrulls, yes.
But it's fine.
The Kree are the actual people that she was with at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
This is not a Marvel podcast, but Michael is a Marvel specialist. That's why I go to him with these questions.
What's a Tyrone droid?
I don't. Oh, he made a joke about the K2 droids. I don't know why he thought their names were like Tyrone or something. It was really funny. Kind of an inside joke there, but All right. Well, Rob, we'll see you later, buddy. But so we go to this compound. IG-11 walks out, and just the way he walks was hysterical. And I mean, we saw shots of him in the sneak peeks and, spin around shooting, but like it blew me away. Just the special effects and how real it felt.
Yeah,
with his walking and spinning and and just his sound. He had a K2 feel for me.
And he kept threatening to self-destruct.
Every 2 minutes when they're in a tight spot. I should initiate self-destruct sequence. So that's another moment that kind of surprised me. Even after the Mandalorian, he goes in and he's like, IG droid, stand down. He's like, I'm a member of the guild after he shoots at him. It was interesting that they were kind of teaming up in that moment. I don't know why that took me by surprise. They're part of the same guild.
He said to get that droid to get on board with helping him get rid of these Skrull-like creatures. Yep. This is not a crossover podcast.
Who knows? Maybe that's what they're doing.
I mean, we're the first. Okay. Yeah. He said you get half. And then he was like, yeah, that's fine. Then he tried to negotiate the terms.
Credit for it as well. Because that's here's one thing about IG-88. IG-88 doesn't do bounties for the credits. He does it for the reputation and the ruthlessness. He wants that reputation, and that's what's great that they've taken that. And I know some people are annoyed by it, but it's like you're pretty much getting IG-88 and Boba Fett.
In one.
Exactly. You're getting both of those characters.
It's about compromise, people.
It is, but so when there's so many connections to so many Star Wars, because we don't know a lot about IG-88. You got to go to the comics and stuff for IG-88 information.
But do you think the Mandalorian actually would have given him half, or do you think that?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do. Yeah, I don't know. He's seeming like a really honorable guy, so I think he's like, there's no way I could have done this. Like,
you've seen him for 39 minutes.
Hey, I know when I like a protagonist. So I don't know. That moment really surprised me. It was also really funny. You mentioned the self-destructing.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
And just the banter they had back and forth, and then the way they get into that building was really epic with the big cannon and stuff like that. But then I was like kind of surprised. I'm like, it seemed like it was kind of difficult to get in this place. So they're not protecting Thrawn. Mm-mm. There's no first order group protecting whatever this is. There's no Grisk or anything like that. So I was like, this is low key not low key bounty, but like they're keeping it on the down low.
Yeah.
So it's likely not, some big character. So we walk in and there's this egg.
Well, we don't
basket.
Just walk in.
Well, we blast in.
That's right.
Right, and knock down the door in the shape of a loaf of bread.
That's what I said.
Yeah, and
that door was toast.
That's right. You made the cheesy joke. Oh,
I didn't say that one, but
oh yeah, there you go, Holly. Yeah, really funny. That was
funny too.
She's not that fun. Calm down, folks. She's not that funny.
Moving on.
These are great sound bites, by the way. So they go through and there's this. I mean, he's got that. What do they call those things? The beeping thing. What was that called?
I don't remember what that was called.
I forget what he called them. But we go in and it's a life form. He knows that it's in this basket, and it turns out to be what we'll just call the Yoda, Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
I don't know what else to call it.
In an egg. Everyone called him Baby Yoda.
Everyone's calling him Baby Yoda.
I mean, was it Jory asked? Is that what we're calling him now?
Yeah, we'll just call him Baby Yoda. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I was blown away, and I don't even know where to begin speculating on what this means.
Remember that feeling when you saw Yoda in the theories?
Yeah.
Yes, transponder. Sure.
Yeah, it's something like that.
That's the word.
Yep.
You know that feeling when we saw Yoda when he confronted Luke in front of the tree?
Yeah.
It was almost like that, but that's not Yoda.
It's not.
But it's a familiar face.
But so that has to be what they're talking about for this major spoiler, because as far as we know,
he was the only one.
Yoda.
There was one other.
Yaddle.
But
I think Yaddle was destroyed in the fall of the Order. So Yoda was as far as we know, the last of his species, and we don't even know what his species is. Some speculate that they're, very strong with the Force for how powerful and knowledgeable he was. And maybe the Empire knew that, and somehow they got their hands on this, what we know is a 50-year-old Baby Yoda. Which is crazy, right? Because Yoda's species, apparently live, very long. But from the beginning, we heard this bounty is 50 years old. So the baby is 50 years old. That's crazy. But like, what is it that they want? Are they looking for longevity? Is it the Emperor seeking knowledge? Is this part of the contingency plan?
Weaponize Baby Yoda.
Well, maybe not weaponize him, but like learn how to, not cheat death, but extend life, because he lives longer than most species.
I don't like that.
I mean, but you know what? Whatever the Empire was doing, they're looking for that knowledge.
Yeah. Are we going to find out what he is in this series?
I mean, that would... you have to now. This is a question that has been unanswered since the beginning of Star Wars.
Yeah.
You have to answer it now. We have to know what exactly.
Yeah, they have no option.
They don't. I mean, no one expected this. I mean, if anyone expected this, let us know in there. But
I bet you didn't.
I don't.
Although everyone did, you kept talking about how like we kept seeing that child in. Which now I think was a flashback.
Yes.
Originally, I thought that the child was the Mandalorian's family and something had happened to his family, but now I think it was just him as a child. But I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but there is a baby.
It's
just not the baby that we thought.
And that's that moment when him and IG-11 show up. IG-11 wants he got a directive to take the bounty dead.
Which is weird because it's somebody else put a bounty out on him.
But here's the thing, though.
So more people know about him.
Yes.
Baby Yoda.
And has the Empire been seeking him the entire existence of the Empire? Or is this something that they think will salvage them?
So then who was protecting him?
We don't know. At least I don't know.
I don't know. Any thoughts? Do you think that Disney's going to make up the species, or do we think that George told them Yoda's species? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know if George knew.
Was it more fun with it being a mystery?
I mean, it kind of is, but...
That's how I felt about Han Solo, and then we get a movie, so...
Yeah, but that to me, that didn't take away from Han Solo. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think this will take away from Yoda at all, because we don't have a whole... I don't know. As much Yoda as we got, we don't know a lot about him. We know a lot about Han. We know a lot about Han in Legends. We know a lot about Han in canon. Even though his story is slightly different in both. But so I don't know. It's unexpected. It's different. But the big question for me is this something the Empire had and then lost and were using for something, or is it something they now need to try to reestablish themselves, or part of Sheev's contingency plan?
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh my God!
Exactly. So it's something related to the Force that they could be seeking, like maybe Yoda's past goes deep to the origins of the Force, his species. Maybe not like him himself, but all we know about Yoda, I mean, he's skillful with the Force. He's a Jedi master. He's great with a lightsaber. He's knowledgeable. He's powerful. He lives a long time, in a nutshell. So the Empire knows about that as well. They have all the records on the Jedi. So what about that species that we know of? We assume that translates to other Yoda-like folk. Yaddle and Friends.
Yeah. Aw,
Yaddle
cute
and Friends.
podcast
I like
name.
that. Yoda, Yaddle, and Friends.
Aw.
Yeah, that's the new podcast name coming out soon.
Formerly known as.
But that's what we know.
Yeah.
And Lucasfilm knows that we know that. So they know that we're already going to start churning with the information that we have, and it's age, power, knowledge. We assume that this baby has those inherent traits, right? The Force, maybe even.
I bet.
So it's a resource. What are they going to use it for?
I don't want to know.
It's not a, it's not just, I don't know. What do you call mascot? It's not a mascot for the Empire. It's a freaking baby.
A mascot for the Empire.
Yeah, Yoda's joined us. Joined the Empire again. Like, it's something else. There's knowledge there that they need. And they don't have the resources to obviously get it themselves. That's why they got a bounty on it. So I was interested. Like, IG-11 had different directives, so he misheard or whatever. And then when he blows IG-11 out of the water, I mean, I kind of saw it coming, but I was also shocked that IG-11's gone. Right?
Do you think he'll fix him?
I think he's gonna get fixed. And
I think he's gonna get fixed and come back too.
At this point, though, this is when IG-11 switches, and we see a ruthless IG-11 probably coming after the Mandalorian.
You think so?
Yes,
I do. You don't think they're going to be buddies for the rest of the show?
I don't.
Well, that's too bad, because I was looking forward to that.
I was too, but now that I'm thinking, like, he's going to have, he's going to have a lot of people after him. He's going to have the people he destroyed to get the baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But I think IG-11's going to be after him, kind of a big baddie that's kind of hunting him, because if not, it's just going to be Transdoshans and Skrull. Yeah.
Jory said, could Yoda procreate asexually, and this could be an offspring, because this baby would have been alive when Yoda was still living. I know it's getting deep with this one, but I think that's something that other people are asking too, because when would have Yoda had time to go off into the galaxy, start a family in the past 50 years?
It's pretty lonely on Dagobah.
Well, I mean, they didn't have Tinder.
Tinder on Dagobah. I mean, there's a lot of action. The Force is strong on Dagobah. Okay, so
that would be in your bio on the dating app.
Yeah. So there's a there's a large presence around him.
Phrasing.
On Dagobah, lots of snakes.
Okay.
So if there were a Tinder out there, there's some creatures, but we know
there are some creatures.
We know in Yoda's comics he's out there hunting. He's not. We don't see any other any procreating out there. So I think that's something Jory could be onto. That
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? We don't know. That's the great thing. We don't know a lot, so the speculation is going to run rampant. I can't actually wait to read everyone's speculation tonight and tomorrow and the rest of this week. It's a Friday. Friday we get another episode.
Michael said he hit it and quit it, and then Jory said, "Swipe right, I will."
Amen. Yeah, he hit it and quit it. It was himself. PG-14 podcast.
You know what? If it's PG-14,
then this is a PG. I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning of this thing.
Only one F-bomb. Wait, what did two F-bombs.
Two? That's
is it one?
Generous.
Two?
You might get one slip up, but then after a while they cut the feed. I'm just kidding. I don't know if they do or not.
YouTube?
Technically, we're a non-explicit podcast, but so he blows IG-11 out of the water. I think he's going to come back and be vindictive. I mean, he may just flip the switch on IG-11, or whoever IG-11 answers to will be like, go get him. Like, this is ridiculous or whatever. Like, the bounty is now the Mandalorian.
But there's always a droid sidekick.
Is there?
Okay, also question.
Yeah.
Serious question. When do we see C-3PO and R2-D2?
You're not going to.
How do you know?
You won't.
Why? They're in every single...
In episode
They make
9,
a cameo.
No, not. This is what I said earlier. Thank Jory. One is PG-13.
I think Jory said that last time.
I think he did too. So here's the thing. I said this today in my office. We are in a new age of Star Wars. Today, even Marvel. Today marks a new age. Star Wars will never be the same again. It never will.
Oh, that's depressing.
So remember yesterday, because this is a new age of Star Wars.
You can't go back in time, people.
And C-3PO and R2 are fantastic, and I love them. But it's time for us to move on from that. But here's what.
But they haven't gone yet, based on the timeline.
They have. I mean, no, they haven't. But that's the thing. How much are we going to tie into the new? Are we going to see the New Republic at all? Because I would think that we would see the New Republic maybe before the First Order. But I think we're going to learn a lot about the stakes of the galaxy at this point. I think even Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni said that we would. And so I see a lot of people giving, Dave Filoni a lot of love, and rightfully so. But damn it, like Jon Favreau wrote this story.
We adore Jon Favreau.
And he's the man, and he needs the love on this because this was his idea. And Dave deserves a lot of credit too. But Jon Favreau, I mean, just this first episode, like, knocked it out. Yeah, I mean, what a great concept. And so, yeah, give him a shout out too, because they both deserve it, but especially Jon. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would be surprised if IG-11 comes back and it's just like, yeah, hey, no hard feelings. Like, let's go do this thing. I was gonna kill this thing. You killed me instead. I just kind of see. I think you'll see. He's gonna have his other sidekicks. Remember, we still
Baby Yoda.
Well, if Baby Yoda starts flipping around like Yoda in the prequels and the games, I don't. That's gonna take some time. That would be probably another 50 years before he's at that status.
But we do have some other characters that we still need to be introduced to.
We do. We have Carl Weathers has a much bigger presence than this. We haven't even got to I can't even remember her name. Do you remember Gina?
Gina. Yeah.
I can't remember her name. I'm
terrible with
I
don't have
IMDb
names. Up right now.
That's okay. So we still have those heroes coming, and I'm sure maybe we'll even be introduced to a droid that they use or something like that.
I would like that.
Yeah, but it was a nice moment that they had, though. But now it's like you're going to see the IG-88 of the IG-11, and he's going to be ruthless even more so. So we're watching this show, and Holly calls so much. Like you said, I don't know, halfway through, quarter of the way through, you're like, this bounty is going to be some little innocent thing that he is going to want to take and not
protect.
And
that's what I said. I said
I don't know how you do it.
He is going to separate himself now from like maybe they'll put a bounty out on him because he never returned.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're going to have people hunting him. He's going to need
hunter
friends.
Becomes the hunted.
Yeah, I mean,
he does though. And rightfully so, because how could you give little baby Yoda up to anybody?
Well, and that's the thing. We're gonna the foundation of him being, this solid person in the galaxy has been established, and you're just gonna see that grow and build as the series goes on. So you called it. You nailed it. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, Thrawn, you're like, it's gonna be some innocent little thing that he's gonna feel sorry for, and he's not gonna turn it in. Because I was shocked how quickly we got to the bounty. Were you shocked by that?
No, I wasn't. But I feel like only because of the buildup that we got about how it was going to have a universe spoiler in it. Yeah. I figured that the bounty had to be the spoiler. I think that if that hadn't have been in my mind while we were watching it, then I probably would have been surprised.
Yeah.
I would have thought that the whole first episode, or the whole series, first season would have been him searching for the bounty and would have ended with him being about to find the bounty. I didn't even know if maybe they would have said or showed you what the bounty was in the first season. I don't know how many. I don't even know how many seasons of this we're supposed to get, or how many episodes the first season.
So they're already writing the second one. The second one may be written and actually going into production soon.
Okay.
But I want to know what you guys think too. Like, was this? Were you surprised how quickly in 39 minutes we got the Mandalorian kind of, we know quite a bit about him already. We got the bounty, and then now the action begins. I thought it would be quite the opposite, that we would slowly learn a little bit about him. We'd be tracking a bounty, and we'd come along bumps in the road, and 5 episodes in, we get the bounty, and now it's a matter of getting it to the guild or whatever is going to happen. So I was shocked. In 39 minutes, we found out what it was, but what a great way to just hook.
Yeah, you have to grab them.
People, and that's see, to me, I thought people were going to be hooked enough, and maybe they would talk about Boba Fett or something like that. But what a great way to hook it, and then you just now for 7 more episodes, we probably won't know exactly what the Empire, the Imperial Remnant, wanted with Baby Yoda. And full disclosure, it's not actual Yoda, but we don't really know what to call him until Holly thinks of a clever name. Jory, like Jory said, that was master just to hook us with that, and they did without even. That's the other thing. Cool. Yeah, we saw a little baby Yoda. We have no freaking clue what they're doing with it. So now each episode is going to be him on the run, and you're just like, what do they even want with this? He's probably going to have now even the Imperial Remnant after him. And who knows? There may be others after. Maybe the First Order comes into play, and they want. I just don't know. But you're right, Joy. That was genius for them to come in and drop that episode 1. Holly called it.
I called it.
Call the rest of the season
first.
Right now.
Ooh. Oh, call him Green Bean.
Little Green Bean. Who said that?
Michael.
Oh, I love that idea.
Little Green Bean.
Little Green Bean. Little
okay.
Big ears
Sold.
or whatever. Yeah.
Little big. Hey, Chewie has those ears sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dare I say Green Bean was not cuter than Chewie? Nope. Not even close. Not even close.
You do not dare.
Oh, yeah. It's Devil Cat. I can't remember. Devil Cat. Who? I can't remember. Do you remember who Devil Cat is? I am terrible with remembering screen names. I totally forget. Devil Cat, let us know who you are. But we just talked about that. We plot device. Call him plot device. I love that.
Little plot device Green Bean.
We also talked about that. They used the same thing they did with The Last Jedi with Yoda. They pan behind him and you just see the ears, and my jaw dropped as well. I was just like, wait, what? It took me seeing the second ear to be like, oh my God. So it was just absolutely genius what they did there. Now we're all hooked, and we don't even know what it is. I'm glad it's not Thrawn. I'm glad it's not a little glob of Palpatine who's trying to come back. I know. My mind actually went there. I like Pizza the Hut. Like in my mind is what I thought we could see.
Disgusting.
Yeah, like give me a or whatever. I don't know. But my mind was going in many different directions. But I had no idea.
Let's move on from the little plop of Palpatine and go into something else.
If he actually, was destroyed in the Death Star, there's probably not a lot of them. So,
well, okay. Well, if they're gonna try to steal baby Yoda Green Bean, Master Green Bean, to rejuvenate
here's the other thing.
Our friend Palpatine.
Here's the other thing. It's Wade. Yeah, okay, so Wade is Devil Cat. I was wondering where Wade was.
And Nate's here too.
About time, guys. Like I know you're
an hour late. Everyone's late.
How
what is this?
Dare you guys?
We started this live feed at 9 p.m.
And you know
sharp.
what? Now everyone's gonna show up at 9 p.m. next time, and we're gonna get on at 10. So this is Nate's here. Yeah, Pizza the Hut. No, that's. I don't know why my mind went there.
You didn't even like Spaceballs.
I enjoyed Spaceballs. It's just some of it isn't my style of humor. A lot of it was, though. So how dare you say that on the air?
All of it was
my private moment. So, oh God, where was I? So, okay, here's something else that I just thought of. Do you remember, all of you guys out there? Hey, that's fair. That's fair, Wade kids. No, I get it, man. I really don't, because I don't have any, but I believe you. I believe that's got to be tough. Maybe we'll have to go to 10 o'clock next time. I don't know. Just so it's a little after hours with Flying Casual. No? So years ago, not years ago, but a year ago, 2 years ago, when we were talking about, Rogue One and these anthology films, do you remember we were talking about Yoda? A Yoda origins story. You know what else we were talking about then? An underworld Boba Fett movie. You know what they've done?
They've put them into one show, and they've called it The Mandalorian.
They've put it into one show and found a way to say, you know what?
This will make everybody happy.
Maybe no one really wants that Yoda origin story. I mean, it would be cool. I don't really need it. But now you've captured my attention. We're not talking about Yoda, but we're talking about a species. We're going to learn more about them. We're going to learn what they're capable of, because the Empire wants it, and they want to manipulate it. They want to take advantage of whatever they have to offer. And we talked about it earlier. It's power, knowledge, whatever those skills are, age. They live a long time. They're harnessing something from that. So they've geniusly given us all these things that we thought we were going to get, and put them in this one product, and it just blows me away. You're right, Nettie. That's our bad, man. Central Time. That's usually what we're running on. Always an hour behind Eastern, but not this time. We're a little more prepared, and it's probably thanks to McCafe. Right? Like, I mean, am I the only one seeing that? Like, we thought we were gonna get all these things. We thought we were gonna get a Boba Fett origin movie. The director of the Wolverine movie, the last Wolverine movie. What's it called? Why do I forget? Logan directed that. Mangold.
Mangold.
That's his last name. I forget his first name. Mangold was gonna make a Boba Fett movie. Everyone's like, that is perfect. That's
but
epic.
What happened to that?
Scrapped.
Because when was that scrapped? Because
I'm not sure why. But we get this. We get elements, and that's the other thing. This 39 minutes you pull in. Oh God, now I forget their name. Blurgs. God, I forget them already. You see them in the Clone Wars. You see like Salacious Crumb, his species being cooked.
That was actually very sad. I know people are like,
it was funny at Celebration. It was sad this time. I agree.
Yeah. It was just because he looked so sad, and he was watching the other one get roasted alive.
I know. It was uncomfortable.
It was.
I'll give you that. No, that was a moment.
I felt a little sad.
And maybe if it was the first time seeing it, watching the show, you maybe would have gave a chuckle. But yeah, this time it was absolutely sad. But you see him. That's a throwback.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
You see the astromechs. You see the speeders that remind me of Luke Skywalker coming in on a speeder.
And what did you say when he went to go into the building to pick up the bounty?
Yeah.
You were like, this feels like Jabba's palace.
Yeah, I mean, you got the eye coming out just like at Jabba's palace, a security eye. You have, I can't remember the guy with the long nose, but he's a spy in the original trilogy. I can't remember what he is. These guys know. I know they do. But we see his species, and he plays. Here's what I didn't like.
Wait,
I didn't like the guy with the recorder who was calling the lift. That's another thing. You say the funniest crap. She's like, you remember the Lyft driver? And I was like, what are you talking? The guy driving the speeder?
Oh, who gets eaten by the
driver.
The sea monster.
God, you are ridiculous. But that you got that guy, and then the lift comes up, the speeder. Now you got me calling it a lift, but it just looked like Luke's. Can
you imagine him driving around with a little pink mustache on the front of the speeder?
That would have been terrible. But they just had so many elements. Even that cantina felt like we were on Mos Eisley. It felt like...
Oh, the long-nosed guy was Garandon.
Okay. See, that's what I knew. Go to Wade for that kind of stuff. Yeah, and Boba Fett, exactly. We talked about...
Brian Posen.
Yeah.
See, Michael called it too.
Yeah. What's that?
Brian Posen was the guy driving the little beep beep, the little...
Well, why did I think it was Jon Favreau?
I don't know, but I told you like it wasn't, and it was a guy from Big Bang Theory.
Okay. It sounded like Jon Favreau for a second. I don't know why. But yeah, so like Wade said, and we talked about the Mandalorian earlier, he might not even be a Mandalorian, or he technically is a Mandalorian, but he gets this armor and he's trying to embrace the heritage and he's learning as he goes. We gotta. These guys are gonna have to go back and watch the beginning, because we went over that kind of that the history that you're learning a little bit about the Mandalorian and these flashbacks and things like that, and it almost feels like when he's in the corral with the guy in the blurgs, he doesn't, he's not embracing that heritage when the blurg corraler says, well,
that's like the best scene.
I thought it was a really powerful scene. Yeah, but he's just, he says, like, what about, you got a speeder somewhere? And we talked about maybe that's just how he relates to Mandalorian and the technology, but he doesn't understand the history or the cultural side to that, that generational gap maybe. So yeah, that was a really good discussion that we had at the beginning of it. But there's so much they're grabbing from. I mean, you see an astromech driving that one. It looks just like R2, but it's yellow. Yeah,
and then he says, no droids.
No droids, yeah.
So he gets this piece of junk,
which is funny because he gets
falls apart.
Droids get dismissed. And there was another moment where I don't know if he and IG-11 were talking, but he says something to him that just made me think of C-3PO.
What did he say?
I don't remember. There was something that he said that just reminded me of it. But there's just...
Oh, you know what I liked?
Yeah.
When he goes to pick up, to try to get the bounty puck from that guy, and all the stormtroopers come up, and they, like, surround him, and... He like pulls his weapon up, and they're like, "Put your weapon down. Your odds are we have you 4-1." And he's like, "I like those odds.
I like those odds." Yeah, just phrases like that just felt like Star Wars. Even the transitions were just like the original trilogy. The music you mentioned didn't
feel like your normal Star Wars music, but it fit.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was catchy.
It was a I don't know.
It felt kind of like Westerny at times, and then Middle Eastern at other times,
but it had more weight to it. And I think that I don't know, it left me anticipated in almost every scene, whatever it was. And I think this series needs that. It doesn't need Luke's theme thrown in there. It doesn't need that at all. Because it's like I said, Star Wars has changed forever. After today, it's gonna be changed. So you have even the Mandalorian himself. The one reference that I wanted to bring up was Life Day. I don't know if anyone caught it, but the bounty guy said, "I was hoping to get home by Life Day," right? Wasn't it the actual bounty? Yeah. So they mentioned Life Day, which was fantastic because we first hear about Life Day in the holiday special, and so it's Life Day's canon. I think Life Day is also referenced in Aftermath. And you know, Chewie mentions wanting to get back. I think in Aftermath they even mentioned that as well, just like the holiday special, but maybe not. Or Han says, "I got to go get him back before," whatever that is. I'm pretty sure they made it canon. But even the Mandalorian himself has his armor looks just like Boba's in the holiday special. His rifle has that. Almost that stun bayonet type thing, whatever you want to call it.
When he gets attacked by the blurg the first time, and then his like flamethrower starts going off out the side.
So sick. I love that because you don't. I didn't really notice his. I think you would call them gauntlets, as much as I would with like Boba Fett or somebody. But yeah, when that just happened to go off, I was like, "Whoa, what the heck? What else is he gonna whip out of here?" Phrasing. You're welcome. You're welcome
Thanks.
for that one. It is. Jory said, "Yeah, it's in Aftermath."
Everybody's watching me experience these technical difficulties.
But you're right, Nate. It's hard to match John Williams, but I appreciate that they're kind of getting away from it, making it its own. It has its own feel. But I before we started streaming, I just put the episode on again, and I put it loud so I could hear the music and stuff. And it honestly, it just felt like Star Wars was in my home. I don't know. It still felt like Star Wars was in my home. It was fantastic. So you have the Mandalorian, you know, pretty much, you know, the outfit looks just like Boba Fett from the holiday special. IG-11 looks just like IG-88. You have Life Day mentioned. You have these characters from the prequels, the Clone Wars, and I'm sure we're going to even see even more about Mandalore, and that'll tie into Rebels, and it's gonna be awesome. It would be so sick if we saw the Darksaber or something. But what they've done, I can't say it enough. I'm sure I'm repeating the hell out of myself, but with this Yoda thing, it's genius. This baby Yoda, it's genius. We didn't think we were going to get this, but now we're getting some aspect of it, and we're going to learn more about Yoda. We just will. We'll be able to relate it to Yoda, and we'll understand him so much more, I'm sure. And we're playing in a territory here between the Empire and the First Order that we don't know much about it. Bloodlines doesn't. I mean, outside of the politics, and you hear a little bit about, you know, Luke's order, it doesn't really tap into much about the galaxy at large. The Force Awakens, you just see the New Republic get blown to hell, and that's it. No discussion of who these people are, really, what's going on. You're just like, that's the Republic, and now it's gone.
Bye.
It's just, there's so much potential to really allude to what's going on, or actually show us what the state is like right now, and how, you know, the Mandalorian's going to have some larger effect on the galaxy. This isn't going to be isolated to just him and this bounty. There's going to be huge consequences for this.
Yeah, Jory said, you guys probably already said that the production quality was amazing. It looked like a feature film. So we didn't already say that. But
you could tell though in some of those scenes with his I can't remember the name of his ship now. They mention it once, and it's a pre-Empire ship, which is great.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it though.
But he you can see the original technique that they used with models in those moments, kind of going in and out between the mountains. You could feel it almost, and that's Jon Favreau wanted to bring back that technique to make it feel old, to give it that grittiness, you know.
And I think it might have been in the panel. They said they're talking about it, and they're like, this was shot in a studio outside of Los Angeles, but you feel like you're somewhere else. Yeah. And you really do.
You absolutely do. And I was surprised.
Razor Quest.
Oh, is it? That's awesome. Yes. It's crazy. I'm looking at the Mandalorian poster that you have right behind you, Holly.
Yeah, can you guys see?
Yeah. We got that at Celebration, and I didn't even think about it, but when you see him in that doorway, I had no idea that was snow. I mean, I have the freaking poster back there. I thought we were on a desert planet. I really thought we were, because so much of the imagery we had seen from the teaser was from a desert planet. So the first opening scene, he's walking in the snow. I'm like, wait, what? I had no idea.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place. And can we talk about that damn Corrin getting cut in half?
I tried to talk about the Corrin earlier. You said we'll get to that.
It was a much slower death than I anticipated, because that preview makes it look like that door just shuts and he's gone. But, man, that thing goes fast, and then it slowly just closes and slices him in.
So uncomfortable.
Oh, that was bad.
Also, just don't be a jerk.
Yeah, well, the Corrin have a history.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Luke and I are a little better about that. Yeah. So you know that they've got it coming. They're confrontational. You know, they're already picking on the bounty guy. And then they, mess with the Mandalorian, and he whoops him. He whoops him good, and he did.
Thank God.
He blasted him actually. So I mean, he deserved it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
He had it coming.
So what else really captivated us about this episode? We kind of went through some of the story, that really captivated us. Him meeting that scout, whatever, the guy who had the corral of blurgs.
I just honestly think that I deserve a blurg.
Wow, I don't know where you would keep it.
I don't know, but
would you ride it to work, or like?
Yes.
Yeah, you almost dropped our only F-bomb.
Our only F-bomb almost came out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just think it would stay in the house, and Chewie would love to have a friend.
It would eat Chewie.
Oh.
It would absolutely eat him. But, there was some nice nods there, and I'm sure you guys, caught a lot that I slave to. That's funny, Joy. Boba's was slave one. But I don't know. I loved this episode. I want more, and we're gonna get more.
We can't
Friday.
binge it though.
You
okay,
can't.
so is
and
the
I
next?
Love that though.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I kicked the dog.
No.
Okay, so
come on.
The next episode is coming out on Friday.
Pretty sure we get on a Friday schedule now.
So we get 2 episodes this week, and then it goes to weekly.
We do. And so at this point, I'm contemplating, because I wanted to do something special here for the premiere and do a live episode. And I don't know if folks want to do like a live episode each week and an additional podcast released on Monday, or we just make discussing the Mandalorian part of the podcast on Monday. So, I mean, if you guys enjoy, I know getting to a live stream is very tough, and most people are going to watch it,
later
after the fact.
Yeah.
So we might just end up making it a part of the conversation. But I wanted to do something special for the Mandalorian, because I was so pumped. And I know just everyone else is as well.
Oh, that's right. Nate said Fallen Order. That comes out on Friday. It's the day after your birthday. That's what you're going to use that Best Buy reward for.
Great point.
That's right.
saving money. It's still a recession here in the Canterbury household. I totally forgot about Fallen Order because I teased with everyone that you were going to be the first to stream it.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
And that's...
Count me in.
Hold on a second here.
No.
Is Friday the 15th?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So we get an episode of The Mandalorian and we get Fallen Order. This may be my last day of PTO that I'm using. We'll see.
You're going to have a stroke.
No, that's going to be it. There's going to be so much story there that we're going to learn, especially if we beat the game in one night.
One night. Okay.
Does anybody know? You're pretty epic at the one-player campaign.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
Don't even ask me how many hours I've put into like Assassin's Creed or
you will be
Breath
addicted.
of the Wild.
I will have to rip the controller from your hands.
No, does anybody know how... yeah, Nate said if my pre-order copy does not come on Friday, I'm probably going to buy another one anyway. Just buy one and return the other.
Me too. You gotta have a hard copy. Am I the only guy out there still buying hard copies of stuff?
No.
Okay.
Aren't you always worried that it's going to erase it? Okay, my question was, do we know how many hours of gameplay is in Fallen Order?
Mm-mm. I have no idea.
Okay.
Because I enjoy playing them. I don't follow up on them a lot. So I don't watch, the expos and the release and stuff like that. I'll watch some of the demo reel that's released, but I don't dive too much into it.
It might be
You're
worth
a bigger gamer.
Making a Twitch account just to live stream.
Well, so that's the thing. We could either do it, there, or we can do it here in YouTube and try to build that community a little more.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Hey, we're new to live streaming, so
we're doing it live.
We're doing it. We're freaking pulling a what's his face?
What is that?
What's his name?
Great question.
Come on, the old Fox News guy.
What?
Bill O'Reilly.
Oh.
Screw it, we'll do it live. That's the edited, PG version.
PG-14.
Yeah, maybe. But we that's what we are. We're doing it live, and I think we will broadcast the game play here and get you playing it because
I just I can't wait.
The problem with you though is that I'm gonna have to be sitting there running live sound and bleeping you out every 2 seconds. I'm gonna own you, Storm. Beep, 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 beep. Like it was just,
Whoops.
I'll have to get some sensor sound effect on here because you tend to. Whew.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can mute me and then you can do the voiceover.
I will talk for you. That actually would be a lot of fun. At that point, I think we become like a Star Wars / comedy podcast, though we may already be there. But the problem is, though, I tend to think that we're funnier than probably most people think. I mean,
people are sticking around to watch, so there has to be something here. You're not doing this for fun at 10:23 on a... Well, we're doing it for fun. No,
that's absolutely... We're not doing it for a paycheck.
What do you mean this isn't fun?
It's Comedy Hour with Michael and Holly. Yeah, there we go.
We haven't seen these people this funny in 25 years.
I mean, wow. Was that like a Brooklyn accent coming out? Like a newspaper boy.
I'm losing...
Extra, come get it.
I think it's extra.
There is no alcohol in that McCafe, so I don't know what. I'm usually the one that has the speech impediment.
Spiked it with some Baileys.
Yeah, well, I hope not, because if you're running the chat, that could get dangerous. But so I'm gonna have to do some testing out there, guys. Yeah. Michael says I'm the funny guy here.
I'm the
Calm
comedian
down
here.
With the humor. Actually, Michael is really funny. If you want to go check his stuff
hilarious.
out, he is a funny guy.
Don't get a big head, Michael. You're okay.
Yeah, I can't be building him up like that.
What?
He's working his way up right now, so we gotta keep him hungry. Don't keep him humble down there in the chat.
Okay, hold on. I feel like now there's a bunch of comments that I've been neglecting because I got way too excited about.
Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it.
Jory said,
"Yeah, go up if you want.
Go all the way back."
Well, yeah, that started sounding dirty.
Really?
Now we are after hours. Okay. Welcome. We're in the 10:30 spot of the show where things get serious.
Flying casual.
Well, that sounded like The Dark Knight. Go ahead. Yeah.
Let's get to the just getting out of control.
Devolving into something
I'm
else.
so sorry, everybody. Yeah. All right. So, Jory's gonna buy 1 million copies. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, if Best Buy doesn't
always
have
have
any
a
copies,
backup on hand. You just never know. The dog chewed up my PS4
well, the
video.
dog would be out of the house at that point.
Not this dog. Okay.
I'm going to Best Buy before work to ensure that I have a copy when I come home.
You're going to be late.
Yep.
Okay. Just buy another PS4 and then you can play too. Okay. But real talk, that would be so fun.
Okay, I've tapped myself out with equipment here, so someone's going to have to send us another PS4 or you're going to have to put it on the card. Because I am tapped out.
We'll
I
talk
gotta
about
pay
it.
off this equipment. Yeah.
Jory said, "Please Twitch and live stream." I'm done. See,
We gotta figure Twitch
that'd be
out.
so
but
fun.
we might have to do it on here.
I'll ask Devin. My friend Devin does Twitch.
Oh, there's a connection that we haven't tapped into.
I know. I'll talk to her.
Perfect.
Okay. Nate said the only thing I could find on the length was the director saying it will not be a short game.
Oh, okay.
So that's promising.
Okay. Yeah,
I like that. A lot of game time. Hopefully there's like some side quests that you can do.
Absolutely.
Off the main. Okay. I like that.
Absolutely. Like Plink or what's his name?
Plink?
What's the
Ezio. Oh, Link?
Link.
I don't know.
Ezio. Come on. You got freaking Assassin's Creed on the mind. This is turning into a gaming podcast, and it really isn't.
Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, to the
Jory said
the
we can
comments.
just mark it as explicit. Wade
It
said
probably already
Holly's
been flagged.
real-time commentary with all the swearing censored would be hilarious. Here's the problem, Wade, is that you've never heard me talk unedited, and it would just be a series of beeps.
Well, here's the thing. You all don't know that Holly is from Maine. And so her accent starts coming out, especially if she's had some alcohols. So alcohols and gaming turns into really like mean, like lobster fishing, like Holly. Like turns like I don't even know. I can't even do the accent.
I come downstairs on my waiters.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what you're getting. Holly is a
galoshes.
fisherman, dropping the F-bomb and slamming the French, or Canadians every couple of seconds. That's what you get when you watch Holly Gaming. It's going to be interesting. I probably will mute you, though, and speak. That'll be your commentary.
The blurg will go out in the backyard with my moose.
Yeah, and it would eat your moose.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now this is turning into a gaming podcast.
That's
This
okay.
was not the point. Legend of the Zelda franchise is my favorite game franchise. So if we want to talk Star Wars and Link, I'm in.
Or Plink. His nasty sidekick, who's yet to be revealed. Link and Plink, save
Okay, well, he actually
galaxy.
does have a fairy or some. In the original game, it's like okay.
It's like a parrot fairy.
No,
like
Nate gets it. It like hovers over your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Her name is Navi. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
But the
Bunch of
the
nerd
more
stuff.
recent ones, he doesn't have it.
That's fair. That's fair. Is anyone?
Okay, I
yeah.
don't.
Is
I
anyone,
don't actually bash the French.
No, that's just like a stereotype that I love to play with sometimes because you're the nicest person though.
I'm so nice.
When I first met you, you may have made a joke about the French, and I was like, why doesn't she? I thought it was some freedom fries like BS from like 2001 that you were still holding on to, and then I found out you were from Maine. I was like, okay, it makes a little sense. But you actually love the French. You love their liberty.
J'adore.
J'adore.
Yeah, I speak French
Le
real good.
français. That was pretty good, right? I mean, the French really came out there, but you might start despising me live.
We're gonna see all of our listeners from France drop down to 0.
We actually do have some French listeners.
Not anymore.
No, let me go and just speak to the listeners for a second. We love the French. We love the French Canadians. Holly hasn't been to Maine,
The French
in
Acadians.
years. We love
all
them.
of the French.
We love them, but no, it's just it's something we like to joke about. But
Okay,
what's Caleb
everyone
saying?
is speaking my language. There needs to eventually be a Legend of Zelda style Star Wars game where a Jedi gets lost on an abandoned planet and has to scavenge for parts and fight aliens to survive.
So here's the thing. They actually were this was a Mandalorian discussion, but they actually had a big plan to do something like that, and that project was scrapped. So that's really just like either EA and Lucasfilm need to get their crap together. But that's something that people have been wanting for years, and there were plans to do it. And for some reason, it was scrapped. I don't know. I went down that rabbit hole of reading all those articles there for a while, but there isn't a richer universe to make that sort of game in than Star Wars. If you can make, if you can create, I don't know, whatever these games are. Not The Witcher, is that one of them?
I don't know what that is. I thought The Witcher was a TV show.
If you can take Red Dead Redemption,
oh my God,
make it, something like that. Without
that would be the Mandalorian.
All the time.
That would be the Mandalorian as a video game. Would be Red Dead.
It could be, but maybe you pick a character and that puts you in a certain realm of the galaxy, and you're like, do I go to study Jedi arts? Do I become a smuggler? Like, what do I do?
What Fable? Wasn't Fable like that? You could like pick a. You could kind of like have your character do certain things and learn. You could go like different ways based on the experience that you get your character to learn.
So there's years of gaming that I missed. My last console was the PlayStation 1, and then I jumped to the 4.
Yeah.
So that tells you how many years of gaming I missed. Though I did some PC, Age of Empires.
My Super Nintendo is sitting in a box in the garage.
Yeah. You have to pull that out. Phrasing. Jinx, you owe me another large coffee. But so that's been a plan for a long time. They just need to execute it, but that would be a huge game. I mean, if you're gonna make a game, it's you got to put the lore into it. When they make a Red Dead Redemption game, there's not a ton of lore involved with that. So you've got to have, just character specific things. Worlds have to be very specific because they're not going to just like, pardon my French, half-ass a game that has multiple worlds, multiple universes. They're not going to do that. It's going to be, they could be working on it right now. We just have no idea. That would be a complicated game to make, though isn't more of a loyal fan base that would pick it up and love every second of it.
I think, based on the response this conversation is getting, which is a very good one,
Skyrim, there's another
people
one.
love it.
Yeah.
Nate is no longer going to be human after this.
We may actually just become a gaming podcast.
I think
hosted by Holly. Walho. Sorry, I give that right.
Luke actually sent me an email at work today and addressed me as
let's not disclose that we're not working at work.
It was work related.
They could be listening.
It was definitely work related. Anyway.
No, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would absolutely do a gaming segment.
And we should. And I think this is going to open us up to that. Talking about Cal's story and really just, let's just hash it out. We'll do some gameplay. We'll show how filthy of a mouth Holly has and how great at gaming she is. Though you're more of an Xbox gal rather than PS4.
Well,
so you adjust, though. You adjust.
I do adjust. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. Everything's fine here.
I just button mash until I figure it out. Just kidding.
No, you're more skilled than that. It's not a bunch of button mashing. Smashing. Mashing? Yeah, I don't know. It sounded right. Let Holly know the shade that she is most of the time. Just have to tone it down for the listeners every once in a while. No, she's great. She's not that bad. But who knows? I don't know. I've never put a camera on her and when gaming, so it could get ugly. Who knows?
I bet it won't, though.
The good thing is it's not multiplayer, so there's no one to yell at other than the computer. Not some 12-year-old kid who doesn't understand,
Don't even talk to me
French
about Call of Duty.
slam that you make. Yeah, Call of Duty's another one. Yeah, you're better at Call of Duty than me.
I'm very good at Call of Duty.
Yeah, you're amazing.
I didn't get paid to play it. They have these
So I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. That also sounded bad.
Moving on.
No.
Michael Moore will guest on the video game podcast.
Perfect, because, he's a big gamer as well. Gamer as well.
Caleb, this may sound boring. No, it doesn't. But I want a Star Trek, Star Trek-style Star Wars TV show about a group of Old Republic diplomats and explorers who are exploring wild space.
Yeah, someone had to at some point, right? Like, you have the known, the Inner Rim. You got Coruscant, you got, these Inner Rim planets, and then you got the Mid Rim, and then you got the Outer Rim, which I mean, look at Thrawn. Like, there's some wild space out there that they're not familiar with in the unknown regions and things like that. So, yeah, who's out there just mapping? We know the Empire had a huge mapping system. So, like, who did that? There's so many story. I love that, actually.
What's out there?
There's so many story potentials there and running into unknown threats and things like that. And who knows?
You know what would be so
show
cool?
up and, yeah.
I want, you know how you can get those cool topographical maps?
Yeah.
But then they have like the space ones, like NASA.
NASA. Gee, that's the freaking Maine coming out of.
NASA came
hey, you know
out.
what out there, NASA? No, that's not even how they talk.
I want like a star map of the galaxy with all the different Star Wars planets in it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool,
right? Why don't you make one?
I mean, yeah.
That'd be cool. That would be actually really intense.
It would be really intense,
and
but that would
books.
be cool.
They have books for that. I have a book on all the Star Wars planets, so we could just
I didn't say I wanted to read
that.
about it. I just wanted to look at a map.
Well, that's cool. It'd be a big map. Big map. But that's okay.
Why not?
No, we're gonna have some fun with this. Now Friday we got to watch the episode, so we probably won't do a live stream then of the Mandalorian going forward. We'll just make it a part of the actual Monday episode, which will be great. But we will live stream as much as we can. Fallen Order. We'll figure that out. That'll be a lot of fun. But is there anything else that people really wanted to talk about the Mandalorian? I know you some of you guys missed out on some of the the really good stuff up front. Is there something that really people latched onto? And I know that the Yoda thing is huge, and we could talk about that for hours. But really, just I don't know. This Mandalorian kind of surprised me. He's a bit of a softie. And I can't wait to see him interact with this thing. Like, does it speak? Is it just?
Do they all talk like Yoda? Bad grammar.
Yes, Mandalorian, you are. That was solid. It was like Yoda was here.
He is here.
Yoda is here. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Force ghost.
Yeah, we'll leave him a little tiny seat right there at the head of the table.
Oh.
Right. Wait,
we were talking about the Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, great call. This is a Mandalorian discussion.
Nobody kept me on track.
That's our fault. We went on the tangent, but I'm glad that Nate reminded us, because I had forgotten about that. So folks may have been thinking, hey, we do another live cast on the Mandalorian Friday, and we're not going to. We'll do a live cast of Fallen Order, because I am so excited for that game. But we'll talk about that a little later. But Chewie's going to cut off the power here, and the whole thing's going to shut down. Why don't you go lay down, dude? Live. Go lay down. Go. Nope, doesn't want to. I don't have a Chewy cam right now. You can't see me kind of nudging him. Go lay down. Go. Perfect. But is there anything that anyone else want to talk about with the Mandalorian? I know we got a little sidetracked here, but I don't know. Holly, final thoughts on the Mandalorian. What are we expecting now?
I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I know that there are quite a few more characters that we still need to meet.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what relationship they do have with the Mandalorian. I'm not really sure.
We didn't even meet them.
Right.
I'm not even thinking about that.
I'm not even sure, how they meet each other. Are they on our side? Are they not our side? When I say our side, I meant the Mandalorian side.
It looks like it. It looks like they're with the protagonist. Yeah.
I hope so. Is their main goal? Are they going to be this band of
a crew,
and they just
like the Ghost crew?
Yes,
you have these little crews that go around, and
I love it though.
I do too, and who knows? I mean, what I did not expect though, what was shocking for me was the Mandalorian hideout, right?
You are stuck on that, yeah.
I don't know why I am. Was anyone else? No, Nate, I don't know. Yes, and I don't know what other planets that they're showing, but I like what Caleb said.
I know, yeah. We kind of touched on a little bit of that. I think maybe while we were watching it, I asked you what planets we were on, because we were on a couple different ones. I don't know. If anybody else knows or has a guess, let us know.
No, we'll have to research that, because it wasn't. They didn't put it up on the screen or anything and be like, "Hey, we're on Tatooine" or whatever.
But about the Mandalorian culture, we did talk about earlier how it was put together piece by piece. I incorrectly called it a shoulder pad. It is not a shoulder pad.
You know what? Speaking of the shoulder pad, you know what I wanted to bring up was that in my Black Series figure has it, which is epic. Now that I know that it was in that one shot and it'll never be there again, that makes it even better. That piece he had on there looked like a shore trooper part of their armor.
How did he get that?
I'm wondering, did anyone else catch that? Like, you see a little hint of light blue that reminds me of the shore trooper armor. I think he got a piece of an Imperial shore trooper, and that he plugged a hole there that he had on his armor.
How did he get that? Was he at the Battle of Scarif?
I mean, I doubt it. But I mean, that armor is probably, you know, Ezra picks up, you know, Imperial armor and takes it wherever. So who knows? It could be scattered around, sold on the black market. But obviously, that steel is
but that
obviously
piece,
much stronger.
Yeah, the piece by piece thing is cool because then you can imagine everything that he is wearing has some sort of story to it. And he's collecting them. So maybe we'll get to see that kind of get built throughout this series, which I think would be really cool. We get to experience that with him.
It probably wasn't that way when they first get their armor, you know? Like, they probably all decked out. But, yeah, like, now it's just like, I don't know, those moments are just that much heavier because when seeing it melted down to build the shoulder pad, he just goes into, I don't know what else to call it, goes into a moment and has that flashback, and I think we'll continue to see that. But it looks like he's pretty fully decked out now.
Yeah. So maybe that was like the final piece that he wanted to upgrade.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure they're always out there looking for steel because it's hard to come by now. They're God, I always forget it. Balaxker, I can't remember. Gosh, not enough coffee. But I can't remember what the steel's called now. Velascar, I don't remember. So I don't even know what my point was. But yeah, so it looked like he had a shore trooper piece there. But yeah, I don't know.
Paul Drawn. Come on, Mike.
Paul, what? Yeah, see, guys, there's these details that I just don't remember.
Thank God you guys
do.
Are here.
No, I bank on these guys for correcting me. I know the general, you know, themes and ideas, but I forget, you know, those very specific sweaty details. But so I don't know. The Mandalorian kind of hideout was I was shocked. I thought we would hear about, you know, Mandalore and you know, not an extermination of the planet, but you know, whatever divulged Mandalorian to chaos or whatever happened, they were wiped out by the Empire. Who knows? Whatever happened with them. I wasn't expecting to see a hideout of them and a Boba Fett like, you know, armor there. So I don't know. That'll be cool to see what his relationship is there. Is he just going there to get armor, you know, melted down, or is there something else that he's working towards there? And that's his
It has to be something else, though, because he's, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just seemed very, very familiar with the people that were there.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't interact a lot with anyone other than the blacksmith.
Yeah, but...
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just kind of unexpected. So let's see. So Caleb says he has one shoulder piece, his helmet, and a breastplate. He's missing a bunch of metal armor. Yeah. The sigil hasn't come to him yet. Yep.
That's what it was. That's what she asked him.
Oh, as it come. Oh, okay. So I couldn't see. This is one of those moments where I'm a lip reader. Once again, I couldn't really understand what they were saying,
and I was too busy talking, so I didn't hear it.
That's fair.
Okay,
that's absolutely what happened. But we asked, what did he say? Is that like has your
and it was sigil.
It was sigil. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even catch that. So we thought maybe it was like his identity revealed or something yet, but.
Yeah, and then Caleb said, I think he's going to slowly build his Beskar steel
armor
over the course of the season. I think so, too. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if his sigil will be Baby Yoda. Little green bean.
Oh, that would actually be adorable. But I don't know. That interaction is going to be interesting. If he's got to carry this thing around in this little pod, I mean, I guess we really don't know what it's capable of doing yet.
It's like a little baby carrier. He should get one of the wraps.
That levitates.
He should
a wrap with his chest plate and stuff. Get out of here. What if he's got some baby carrier on the back of him? He's hauling around like Luke did with Yoda.
But it's like actually a jetpack. He needs a jetpack though.
A little baby Yoda jetpack. Oh, that was Smeagol. Oh. I went into my Smeagol impression.
Wrong fandom.
Wrong fandom. But yeah, no, that it's gonna. That's I don't know. But like we said, that was a huge surprise. But some really great moments. It was gritty. Anything else? Any final thoughts of like the show?
I just really wish that I could go upstairs and watch the second episode right now.
Me too. We got a couple of days, but I mean,
Damn it.
It was gritty, heartfelt at times.
It was, yeah.
Lots of callbacks.
Surprisingly.
Lots of classic moments. The transition, it felt like Star Wars. Even the music somehow felt like Star Wars. They did a brilliant job of tying in so many Star Wars stories,
and that's what that's what people want.
Yeah, it's just and I cannot wait to see where they go. This was 39 minutes. This was hard. This was about a freaking Rebels episode. Like there just wasn't a lot to it.
Scratched the surface.
Well, it went really quick, right? I mean, even the story itself went really quick. He got to the bounty really quick, which, like you said, you were kind of expecting that. I wasn't. I thought the bounty would be towards the end of the season. We're like, okay, there's the cliffhanger, but they hooked us. It makes sense, and now
I loved every minute.
Yeah,
every minute of this 39.
No, you're right. And Nate, the Clone Wars movie was the worst part. I remember going in 2008 to the movie to see it, and I just walked out being like, "What the hell did I just see?" Because they didn't plan that right. No one knew what was going on. And you're like, "Oh wait, this is part of a cartoon series," and you kind of threw this episode in the middle of the series. Like, why would you do that? So it didn't really make sense. But
Needy, nerdy, natty.
I mean,
I love that.
Is he needy? I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I don't think so.
But don't even get me when I start typing real fast, and then the words just start flowing, and I'm like, that wasn't anything that I meant to say.
Yeah, and so I got to give my hat off to Holly for being able to interact as much as you could in that chat, but also converse with me, because I'm someone who feeds off of discussion with folks, and you're juggling so much. Can I just
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a hard job.
You deserve it, because that's something I can't do. I can barely get a thought out of my head, and it's tough when you're trying to interact with folks and get their comments in and be able to kind of speak about what you're thinking too. So you've done a fantastic job with that. That's why it's nice sometimes having someone else and to be able to feed off the discussion, give you a moment to kind of bring what's going on in the group. So guys, show Holly some love, because that's a tough job, and I'm not good at hosting. I think we all can agree that I need to work on my hosting and my broadcast skills, but
I think you did a good job.
I think I'm growing every episode.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Just developing that skill set. And that's what we're doing, guys. We're just shoring up, we shored up the technical issues. I think we've had a good solid stream. We were on time. And I think, it took a few minutes to get
warmed up.
Well, and this is the first time you and I have done a stream without like Luke present or something like that, right? So we're still getting our rapport down, and when it's live, it's tough, and you're trying to get a lot in. But it's been so much fun. We're gonna continue to do this when I can. That's right, coming in clutch. Just that exactly. But I want to be able to bring in live calls. Working on that still. Once again, it's tough with a 2-person production. It's tough to take calls and get them in, but I do want to figure that out, because that's one aspect of live that I think we need. But we could say, reach out to some of you guys and say, hey, you're going to get a 10-minute spot. Let's have you call in here. Even if the call has to come in live, let's get you in, or we get a hangout going, and each person gets their own time. I think that would be really cool. So we might, and that may become a regular part of the live streams, because we've got a lot of content, guys. We've got Mandalorian, we've got Fallen Order, we've got the Rise of Skywalker, and I want to do more live stuff. Even if we do live episodes of the podcast, I think it's that element of having people be able to chime in, and it's just great. So I'll figure something out. I think it might be kind of a Google Hangout, get groups of people in, give each person, their due. We'll figure something out, because you guys are what make this what it is. You guys are what keep us doing it every week. And as long as you guys are willing to listen and participate, we're going to keep doing it. So the podcast will just continue to grow, and the community will continue to grow, and we're just going to keep working on this thing every week, week in, week out. Any parting words, Holly?
I just can't wait for the next one.
Oh, I know. Might go watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Or tap into some more. I mean, if you haven't got, I hope you got the app. I hope you watched The Mandalorian for this discussion.
Why are you here?
If not, then I'm really sorry. We did give a big spoiler at the beginning, or a spoiler warning, that it was all Mandalorian. But man, they've got Empire of Dreams. They've got documentaries on the original trilogy and Star Wars. They've got the Clone Wars. We have access. This is a lifetime of viewing in one app. What they've done is fantastic. And the fact that it's I'll call it flawless today. Like, there were some issues. Some people had some connectivity issues, but for such a huge project, Disney knocked it out of the park. And
also,
Netflix is kind of shaking right now.
With Disney Plus, you have access on 10 devices.
Yes.
And you have unlimited downloads for the content that's on there.
If we're not advertising for Disney, yeah. And you're
Sponsor
right.
us.
Like, Jory Luke has been, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. That means a lot. And Luke has been fantastic too. And that's something else that I know I'm kind of going off topic here, but like Luke is just a buddy that just loves Star Wars. And when Rebel Watch was going, just kind of hooked him. And we became quick friends at work, and we just talked about Star Wars all the time. And so when I started this project, I was like, buddy, like, he's just a nice, guy. He's doesn't beg for attention, but he just is he in our company, he speaks to clients. He does it well, and he knows Star Wars. He's just a great communicator. And I was like, you would be a perfect asset to this team. And he has been. He's been killing it. And as his family, grows and stuff, I would love to continue to just bring them all in, bring his wife in to talk about Star Wars and get him here in person. But
we'll have to do like a meet your co-hosts.
Absolutely.
And like do like a feature on Luke and
Absolutely.
Michael and
their Star Wars character, Walho, and all of that.
Yeah.
But he has been fantastic. So we're gonna continue this journey, guys.